Section 2. Foundational questions. Before we explore the idea of an objective purpose further, it is critical to acknowledge that some degree of subjectivity is inescapable when considering questions of meaning and purpose. That said, it is possible to begin to reduce the presence of subjectivity by briefly focusing on three foundational questions that already have near universal resonance. While we may not arrive at complete consensus by the end, by starting with these common touchstones, we can build a shared framework to work off of. The first question is, do you want your life to have real meaning if real meaning is possible? For myself, I must answer yes. The alternative, to embrace a meaningless or deluded existence when a meaningful one is available to you, sounds far worse than existence without any meaning at all. Without some sense of real purpose or significance to contextualize our struggles, suffering becomes a pointless and perhaps even intolerable burden. While I respect the right of individuals to arrive at their own conclusions, I suspect most people, if pressed, would agree that a meaningful life is preferable to a meaningless one. This leads to the second question. When faced with uncertainty, should we rely on rationality to guide us? For myself, I must again answer yes. In a world full of ambiguity and conflicting perspectives, emotion alone is an unreliable compass, as two people can have dramatically different emotional responses to the same experience or idea. Of course, there are also limits to human rationality, as I know two rational people can still disagree a great deal. While imperfect, rationality encompasses reason and logic. These tools offer us a method for transcending individual feelings and rough intuitions by providing a way to test the consistency and coherence of our beliefs, to identify and correct for our biases, and to construct arguments that can be evaluated by others on their merits. If we wish to find alignment in our search for meaning, such shared principles and tools are necessary. Like in the boat analogy, we have to agree that using the map and the North Star is the correct course of action. For clarity, even though I am advocating for the primacy of rationality above emotion, I do this not to discount the value of emotion, but rather to suggest that reason should serve as a check and complement on it. This partially relates to the last question, which is, do you aspire to find the most profound purpose possible for your life? This question introduces the concept of a hierarchy of purposes, suggesting that some may be more significant to our meaning and thus worth prioritizing above others. It invites us to consider if everything we find purpose in should receive equal attention from us, or if most of our energy should go towards goals that offer greater meaning. I would personally answer yes to this question, on the basis that, as far as I know, I will only exist once, and would ideally live the most meaningful life I can. Overall, answering yes to these three questions provides us with a solid baseline. Of course, this baseline has not resolved all subjectivity, but I believe if we agree on these starting questions, they provide us a minimal shared starting point for any serious inquiry into an objective, or least subjective, purpose.